They say when it comes to dating that nice guys finish last.
I want to try to say some stuff about this without accidentally being misunderstood and converting a bunch of nice guys into really jerky guys. I'm just going to try it. So first of all, what exactly is a nice guy? I asked that question in Twitter, and what I got back was really interesting. Positive description of nice guys seemed to include that they were caring and selfless and observant. If you're just that kind of nice guy, that's not losing you any girls. In fact, a lot of girls won't even notice you being selfless. So, it's kind of your business. But the recurring negative idea that people had about nice guys is the lack of gumption. Okay, nobody actually used the word gumption. That's just one of my favorite words. But I think that kind of nicely sums up what everyone was saying. Sometimes people get confused between a lack of gumption and niceness. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm attracted to you and I want to date you, and if you don't want to date me, I don't want to be your BFF. No, it's fine to say, I don't want to be friends, I want to be more than friends. Not to me, not in the comment section. I know I don't want to be all BFF, friends, buddy with some guy that I'm attracted to who doesn't like me in that way. I mean, I'll be friends, but I don't want to be all hang out all day, then go for ice cream, then sit an appropriate distance away from each other on the couch and watch movies all night and talk about his girl problems, friends. Barf, no. There's nothing wrong with saying that to a girl. She'll probably like it. It's flattering. And it's nice that you know what you want. I dated this really nice guy once. When I met him, he had all these opinions and hobbies and interests, and I really liked that about him. Then we started dating, and he was really nice and gentlemanly and chivalrous, and I liked all that too. But then, something would come up that we had a different opinion on. Maybe it was a big issue, maybe it was a small issue. For instance, let's say we're talking about Chinese food, and he said, my favorite egg rolls are the ones over at Panda Town. And then I said, oh really? I really like the ones at Panda Palace. So we've established that we have different favorite sources of egg rolls. I'm okay with this. In fact, I kind of liked that he had his own favorite egg roll place. It was manly of him to know which egg roll place he liked. Take me to Panda Town, you know? Take me to Panda Town. Then, inevitably, the next time Chinese food came up, he'd be like, you know what? I hadn't really thought of it, but Panda Palace egg rolls are the best after all. You were right. And I'd be like, really? And he'd be like, yeah, I tried it, and that's my opinion too. And then it started to be like that about a lot of things. He agreed with me exactly about all political issues and how to fold a t-shirt. Even though I was like, no, your t-shirts are never wrinkly, and mine are always kind of wrinkly right in the middle, and you worked at a clothing store for a long time. I'm sure your way's better if you would show me. And he was like, no, you're the best. And I was like, okay, thanks. I was really young at the time, so I didn't just say this, but I should have. It's exhausting, and it's too much power for one person to be looked at as the sole source of right answers and happiness in a relationship. I was not interesting enough to spread out among two people. I didn't like feeling so in charge and right all the time. I knew that I wasn't, but you can't exactly argue that point. And it made me into kind of a brat. And I didn't like that feeling. So I broke up with him. According to him, because he was a nice guy. After like a month, I talked to some mutual friends, and he had gone back to being interesting and having hobbies and his old opinions. Then he met a girl who was a rodeo queen, and he started wearing cowboy boots and a really big hat everywhere. Something else to think about. Do you find yourself wanting tons of women at once without them knowing about each other? If you consider yourself a nice guy and you consider yourself finishing last because you're not getting mass quantities of women like some other guys that you see, you might not be such a nice guy. Sometimes I see these guys and they're like, oh, look at me, I'm doing really badly in this jerk race. I think nice guys do eventually end up settled down with one girl and happy more often than the jerks. That whole be with tons of women race is optional. Nice guys, you don't have to go in that race.